dejar de amputar el pie a uno de los fotógrafos.
Y Javi Verde, que vamos, pegó un brinco ahí.
Además, este Nelson Miura, fantástica la acción, la canasta de Shelley Cronau.
Sí, buena acción de Shelley ahí. Vemos cómo se ha marchado de 2 y ha logrado entrar hasta...
Hey Shelley, and welcome to the 10 Before 10 show.
Hey, how you going? Great to be here.
No worries. Well, we had a great workout this morning, and can I just say, we've never had a shoulder workout quite like that on 10 Before 10 before.
Welcome to the world of a wheelchair basketball athlete.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. Now, for the benefit of those that are watching and don't know, we always do our 10 Before 10 workout sessions at 10 minutes to 10 Australian Eastern Standard Time. So given that Shelley lives in Spain, she got up at 2 in the morning, which was 12 hours from where we are now, and then had to try and get back to sleep. And I hear that wasn't the easiest thing to do, Shelley?
No, not really. And anyone that knows me knows I'm already up here anyway. So doing a great workout at 2 a.m. in the mornings just sent me straight up. So as I said earlier, lucky I live in Spain and it's accepted to go have a big siesta later, have a big nap.
Cool, so that's definitely on the cards today.
Absolutely.
Now, speaking of shoulders, you've got one of the most impressive sets of shoulders I've seen in a long time. So I'm just wondering, aside from the skills practice and getting up and down the court in the chair, which is also very shoulder intensive, I guess, can you run us through some of what you do in the gym in terms of exercises, weights and reps?
Yeah. Look, for me, really, obviously everything I do is upper body. I do a lot of core stability, which we went through in today's in the 10 Before 10. But I basically just do a lot. I do just try to lift a lot of heavy weights, try and get a lot of core stability, because for me on the basketball court, I'm really small, really small. So what am I going to need for my advantage? I need to be as strong as I can, because I need to be as quick as I can. And as you know, I'm going to be as quick as I can by getting the most strength out of my pushing. So for me, I couldn't really tell you right now, especially in quarantine, my reps, et cetera. Yeah. But definitely a lot of, I just try to focus on getting as much strength out of me as I can, because my focus is be as fast as you can, Shelley.
Cool. Now, so you had your big accident in, I think, was it 2007? I was just wondering did you play basketball or any other kind of sport before that, or is it just a new thing for you?
Right. The funniest thing is, hated past tense, hated basketball, because growing up in school, I was barely 5 foot. I'm this little 4 foot thing walking around, so I never played basketball. I hated it. I always played rugby league, touch footy, because I was that little small thing that could run away down the wing. Sure. So it's a really funny, I guess, situation that I've ended up in the sport of wheelchair basketball, because never liked it. Was always a sports person, always an athlete, but I knew my limits and I knew that I wasn't tall and I was never going to be able to play able-bodied basketball internationally.
Yeah, right. So it was that moment in 2008, I think, you were watching the Paralympic Games and you were watching the basketball was on. Did you make a conscious effort to watch the basketball, or it just came on and you were like, wow?
Well, I was back in 2008, I didn't really know much about life in a wheelchair or sports for people with disabilities or anything like that. Yeah. So even coming across the Paralympics on TV, I was like, oh, look at this. There's sport for people with disabilities. Oh, that's me. Let's have a geezer. So yeah. I basically just flicked through, and I've never really liked individual sports. I'm a team player. I love having the whole team environment and whatnot. And you know what? I came across a sport, wheelchair rugby, first. I saw about 2 minutes of it and was like, that's it. That's me. I'm there. The amount of contact there in there, it was just like, rugby league, tackling each other, getting the contact. And so I asked a friend, and unfortunately, for me at the time, the sport is played for people with disability to 3 limbs or more, or quadriplegics. So that wasn't me. So I went to the next best sport, the next best non-contact sport, which I saw watching the Paralympics, was wheelchair basketball. And I just looked at it and went, okay, crash, that's me.
Yeah.
I'm going. I don't care how, why, who, what. I've got my mindset.
Sorry, did you say crash or crush?
Oh, both.
Both, yeah,
Both. Yeah, both. Depending on what I'm playing that day.
And just out of interest, actually, you touched on the rugby, because the minute you said that you were into rugby league, you know, as a younger girl, straight away in my head, I was like, well, why is she not playing rugby, you know, wheelchair rugby? So, but are the chairs different for each of the sports, or not really?
100%.
Oh, right, okay.
100%. Oh, yeah, 100%. All the chairs for the different sports are completely tailored to that sport, I guess. Say, for instance, wheelchair rugby chairs compared to our wheelchair basketball chairs, they've got more of a fender out the front that just takes the impact, that is built to take the impact of them just banging.
Yeah,
whereas
right.
ours, so much because if we do that in our sport, wheelchair basketball, it's technically a foul, depending which referee you get. Exactly. So we don't have all that fender and whatnot over there, because then that'll weigh down our chairs. We want to be as fast as we can. So we want to try and take off as much of that and have our chairs as light as possible, so that we can get more out of our speed, agility, and whatnot. So, right. Yeah, a hell of a lot different.
Yeah, sounds like it. All right. Well, I mean, so you started in 2008, and within 2 years you were on court with Sydney University Flames, playing in the WNBL, and then you ended up scoring the Rookie of the Year award. So that's a pretty amazing rise in 2 years. Can you take us through what that 2 years was like for when you first got the idea to winning Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, it wasn't even, I think it was less than 2 years, maybe in the next year, 2009, because in 2008, I just hunted for wheelchair sports. So I think the next year I found a new disability association that was starting wheelchair basketball on the Gold Coast, my hometown. So I started down there on the Gold Coast, and that led me into the next phase, I guess, which was moving into Brisbane, moving my training and whatnot into Brisbane, because that's where the more professional teams were and the more professional training was. And unfortunately, at that time, Queensland didn't have a women's wheelchair basketball team. So I was lucky enough to be invited to the Sydney Uni Flames team by a couple of great ex-Paralympians, Lee Tesh and Sarah Stewart. And you know what? It was amazing. I think I was just a sponge. I just wanted to learn. I was flying down to Sydney to try. I didn't care what I had to do, where I had to go, what they wanted. I didn't care. I just had my mind on one thing. And anyone that knows me is, when I have my mind on it, you can't tell me no. So it was enjoyable. And I think, that year made me realize, okay, this is what I want to do. Yeah,
right. Great story. All right. Well, in 2011, you made the national team, which is known as the Gliders, and you were off to the Osaka Cup in Japan. Can you tell us a bit more about that experience?
That was pretty cool. So that tournament is a tournament that we have every year in Japan. It's a great tournament. It's a fun tournament. So having that tournament as my first international tournament was great for me. And also I went on I wasn't the only rookie. I was spending that tournament with two other rookies, two other girls on my team. So it was really, really incredible. It was just, I think if you understand the tournament is just really fun. So it was just an easier way, I think a more chill way to be introduced to the team in the international environment, but still playing against teams, Germany, Canada, and Netherlands, and me being on this world stage, just going, wow, and just learning and soaking it all up. So yeah, it was really enjoyable. I'll never forget that. Never forget my first trip.
I had a feeling you might do that. So you've told us all this other stuff, and then you didn't mention the fact that you guys actually won a silver, didn't you? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm racking my brain. As I said, we have the tournament every year, so now I'm going
Yeah.
the last 9
Oh,
years.
which
Yeah,
year?
we've gone good.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I thought that was an annual event. Yeah. So now
Yeah.
after that, you moved back to Queensland and joined the Minecraft Comets. So that was a new team that they just started up, was it?
It was they had a women's wheelchair basketball team in the past, but unfortunately, funding is very hard for sports for people with disabilities, and unfortunately, there wasn't a sponsor around for quite a few years. This was before my time, so we were lucky enough to get a major sponsor of Minecraft that jumped on board, and then Queensland were able to have this have a team finally, and it was great. It was, we weren't the top of the team, a top level team. I think we won our first game in our second season, but it was just great to have a local team. I'm a Gold Coaster, so any rugby league fanatic will know it was hard for me to put on Blues colours when I'm a Maroon.
Yeah. I'm a State of Origin fan, even though I live in WA, and before that it was Melbourne. But I definitely know about the Blues and the Maroons. So
it was hard.
Because then we got to 2014, and I guess you could say understatement of the year might be that wasn't a bad year for you. Do you want to run us through it? Do you remember that year for a start? 2014.
I'm actually going back now. No.
You want me to remind you?
Go for it.
Okay, so you captained the team when they won the championship. You also won a silver medal with the RSL Queensland Spinning Bullets in the NWBL, which is mainly the men's national comp.
That's right.
The Comets won the Queensland Sport Wheelies Team of the Year, and you personally won the award for Sporting Wheelie of the Year in Queensland. So, yeah, that sounds like a pretty big year to me.
As an athlete, that year for me was amazing, as you said. To win in just over only in a couple of years, to win the national championship with my friends as well. I have a lot of friends playing this game. I've met a lot of people, and also then winning the coming second silver medal in the men's national comp was really special too, because that's a team that I play in with my husband in Australia. So that was something really nice to share together.
Yeah.
And that year for us, our team, our Minecraft Comets team, we soared. I think we just blew out everyone's expectations. We did so well. We were doing so much in the community as well that year. It was just a great year for Queensland wheelchair basketball, and it showed in our awards for Sporting Wheelies. And I think that was, as an athlete, that year was great for me. As a personal, that's going to be the hardest year of my life, because that would be the year that I lost my mentor, my grandmother.
Oh, okay. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So you found it trickier since then? Or you just, when you don't have that sounding board to go off, Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
But I mean, even as you talk a lot about team and your friends in the team, but even from a personal standpoint, winning that award, that's not just for basketball, it's for all sports, isn't it? That Wheelie of the Year? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So it was actually really good winning the award just after my grandmother passed, and she was actually the manager of our Queensland Comets team, so everyone knew her. So it was really, really special as well to go to the awards that night, receive it, and have everyone kind of know the history and what had gone on. And it was just, we turned something sad, that it was great. We turned it into a positive, and it brought a lot of people together.
Great, great. Well, I'm thinking you could have, it would have been great for you to have your gran around for the next couple of years, because now what I'm going to do is get on to some of your career highs and lows. And so in 2011, you were in the gliders team, you qualified for London 2012. In 2012, you were in the team that wins gold at the Osaka Cup. You'd won silver the year before, but then just a few weeks later, you missed out on selection for the Paralympic team. And then you're straight back in the team that wins in Osaka straight away. And so I was reading it and just thinking, like, what, did someone just decide that, you know, maybe Shelley's not a good player in August once a year, or, you know, what happened there? And then to top all that off, you were, so like I said, you went straight back into the team. But then in 2015, because the team came second to China at a qualifying comp, the whole team didn't qualify for Rio. So I'm just interested to know, really keen to know, like, how you bounced back from some of those hits.
Well, you just nailed my biggest low in my athlete career, which was that not making that Rio Paralympics. But we'll get back to that one.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Going back to the London, the team for the London Paralympics in 2012. You know, for me personally, I think I fast-paced through my career. I think I really, really do. And at that point in time, I'd only been in the squad for a year, 12 months. And I think for me, I was just happy to even be in those selections. You know, it came down to, I was a reserve for London. And I think, you know, I've never really looked at it as a negative. I've looked at that, you know, obviously missing out on the selections, but being still so new and so raw, I used that. Some might say it's a negative, but turn it into a positive. I'm the most hungriest person for a Paralympic Games. You ask anyone. As you just said, unfortunately, I missed out there, but was with my teammates the whole way, you know, watching back from home. And then I didn't really carry that, I guess, in the next couple of years with the team. But yeah, not qualifying for Rio, that I would have to be, you nailed it. That would be the lowest low. You know, really, obviously, because that was that's my dream. That's what I'm hungry for. That's everything I'm going for. But I think in 2015, you know, it was the best year that our team has been in. We were all centralized, kind of together. We were playing and training against the men's national teams in Australia. We were competing at tournaments and we were playing great. I had one of my best friends leave Alabama University and leave her wheelchair basketball program there, came back home, moved in. We thought we were in the best shape we were, you know. We went to that competition. Unfortunately, as sport goes and classifications go, you know, we were only given one spot for the Asia Oceania spot to go to the Paralympics. And as you know, you have to win gold. You don't win gold, we don't go. Got into the gold medal game, came down to the wire, and there you go. And I tell you what, I think for me personally, those 4 years that I'd been in my international career, I looked up to those girls. They taught me everything. They had been to XYZ, many Paralympics themselves. They were just, you know, I'd learned so much. I knew what it meant to them. So I think it got taken away from me, but seeing my teammates, but my friends so hard, just as hard as I have. So yeah, that was definitely hard, but out of negatives always come positives.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely pretty brutal, but you know, why don't we change gears now? Why don't you hit me with your favorite moments throughout your career? So I guess 2014 is going to be like, that's up there. Are there any other specific moments there?
Well, yeah, well, I'm going to keep going on that one because that turns into a really good positive moment for me. Personally missing out on the Paralympics, because that then gave me and my husband the opportunity to move where I am now today, to move back to Spain to allow him to be, my husband's also a silver medalist, wheelchair basketball Paralympian. So it gave him the opportunity to be closer with the Spanish team, train and get ready for Rio. So I was lucky enough to then go to Rio as a spectator, not a athlete, and at least enjoy watching him win a silver medal with his country. So, you know, I take that as a great positive, great learning positive out of that negative. But definitely, it absolutely has to be last year, Thailand in December, finally claiming our spot for Tokyo Paralympics.
Wow. Okay. It happened.
We got it. We finally got it. You know, I've been with the team through those last two campaigns, the last campaign of disappointment, the campaign before of the girls won a silver medal in London. I was on the sideline watching, but just loving every bit of it. And now for me, finally, on the third campaign of my career, being able to go, cool, I'm going. We're not going this year. We're going next year, but hey, I'll get there.
Yeah, definitely. It's a case of third time lucky, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Now, can you describe how you go about firing yourself up in the lead up to a game? Like, do you play music or do you bang your head, or what's special that you do, or nothing at all?
Okay, so yeah, probably I've got to do everything reverse to that. So I'm a person that's up here all the time. I'm just running 5,000 miles an hour. I'm on that much adrenaline. So for me, it's funny, the way I've got to prepare for a game, especially a very, very important game, is I've really just got to go and chill out. I've got to just remove myself from any, you know, big situations, any big lights, big this, big that, and just really take a moment with myself and say, okay, Crohn's, that's my nickname in the team.
Yep.
Let's just chill out. Let's just, you know, what are we going to put on? We got some Michael Bublé we pop on or something. You know, meanwhile, all my teammates think I'm listening to my Big Bang hip hop music or something.
Yeah.
But I'm actually just trying to chill out, because the type of player I am, I am up here and I'm a million miles an hour. So that I've got that down packed. It's actually the other way of trying to slow down, and that's yeah.
I've spoken to quite a few athletes the last few weeks, and you're the first one who's got that approach. So that's really interesting.
Oh, it's not always good.
Yeah, being up there so long, so much of the time.
Exactly.
Now, obviously, we're just coming. I'm not sure what the deal is in Spain. I mean, it's different everywhere, but obviously, we've had the COVID-19 thing going on. There's been lockdown all over the world. What steps did you have to put in place to keep your fitness and your technique up, or your skills up where it needs to be during isolation?
Yeah. Well, obviously, being here in Spain, we were one of the biggest hotspots in the world, unfortunately, being so close to Italy and just in Europe. So we've really been in, say, a heavy lockdown for 4 months. We're just now slowly getting out of it. So I guess for me, being married to another elite athlete is really good, because that, you know, if you're lacking motivation, sometimes it's really good to have two of you. So for us, lockdown was really just making sure we were staying fit at home. We were doing workouts together. In those couple of first months, we had really strong laws where we couldn't go outside. So we literally, thank God I have dogs that, you know, I was able to go outside for the toilet with them for a little walk, and that was my fresh air. So we were really limited to what we could really do in this apartment. So it was just me really focusing on, okay, let's just move. We need to move every day. I'm confined to a wheelchair. He's not. He walks. So we were just like, we just need to move. Then I guess a couple of months later, we had a little bit of more freedom of movement. And we were lucky enough that my parents-in-law have quite a big garden with a big driveway that we were able to put like a basketball, you know, when you're a kid, you got the basketball hoop there and whatnot. And no, it wasn't anything, it wasn't much, but we just got our ball chairs, went over there. We were allowed to leave, spend say an hour outside a day, and we would just go over there every day, take our chairs, go to his parents and just do some shooting, just moving again, keeping our routine. We would have a routine because I'm a routine person and that's what my training looks like every day.
Yeah.
So that was really it. Now we're lucky. Well, we're on our third week of our gyms reopened. So that's given us a lot more freedom of what we're able to do, because there's a lot more conditioning, say machines in the gym, which when you're limited to a wheelchair sport and you're not allowed to go outside, there's not much conditioning I can do at home.
No.
So it's lucky to have, it's amazing to have the gyms open now. We're still not back on court or anything, but just keeping the fingers crossed that it's not too far away.
Well, I guess it's a lot of the exercises we were doing in the session this morning is a lot of the stuff that you do, like, you know, like big on the shoulder exercises.
Exactly. For me, it's through quarantine. For me, I just don't want to lose my strength.
Yeah.
You know, I can get my speed, et cetera, et cetera. I just don't want to lose my strength. And also just keeping my core stability, training my core, doing my balance exercises every day, because that's just going to obviously increase my agility in my basketball chair, which is always going to be a winner. Yeah.
Yeah. And for people watching this that, you know, do train with weights, I think everyone will know the feeling where you get an injury or you're a bit sick and you take 2 or 3 weeks off the gym. And then when you go back, it's just like, gee, this weight's a lot heavier than it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, you know, like you've got to go back and then sort of build back up again.
Absolutely. Or, you know, there's only certain exercises you can do in-house, or you're limited to so much, and then you go into the gym and you start using them as these machines and you're like, oh, hello, muscles I haven't seen in a while, or felt, but I've felt them for a while.
Exactly.
It's great.
Now,
it's great.
How has technology played an impact in your life since the whole lockdown happened? Have you been using Zoom with your coach and your teammates, or any other sort of tech things you've been doing?
Yeah. So technology and we're not in the same sentence. We don't agree. So
you're not friends.
This. Lockdown. It's been good for us, my team, the gliders, to really connect with each other. We've really connected with each other a lot over this time of quarantine, because, you know, we've obviously, we're set to have our Paralympic Games this year, and then that's all being changed, and now it's next year. So we're really trying to support each other, obviously being there for each other mentally, but it's also giving us the opportunity now to just learn, to everyone just be sponges, to watch as much game footage, to really tackle down and work out what's the world's best, what do we want to do, what are our goals, what is this. It gives us a little bit more time. So we've been having constant, frequent Zoom meetings, which I absolutely love, because for me, then it gives me that contact with my team back home in Australia. So that's been really good. And I've taken this time, I guess, for me personally, to take myself off the court and out of the fitness side of Shelley, and really start working on my personal branding, which is all about. So I tell you what, it's great. You know, I'm coming near the end of my career. I'm in the 10-year career, and I'm finally learning more about myself and my core beliefs and values and what I stand for, and really just trying to put myself out there, or looking to, I guess, life beyond sport and away from sport. So I guess this time for me has been really, really great to be like, okay, get your focus off being, you know, big muscles and fast and basketballs, and let's look at the other side of the athlete. So that's been really, really cool. I've enjoyed every minute of it. I'm enjoying waking up at 1, 2 a.m.
Of course, you've got to do that as well. I forgot. Yeah, because the sessions are on at 9 a.m. I think in Eastern time, Australian Eastern time.
Yes,
Yeah.
It was my 3 a.m. It was my 3 a.m. So whatever that.
Whatever it is, it's early. It's the middle of the night.
But it's been really, really good to take this time to, you know, sit in front, instead of a basketball hoop, sit in front of a computer and actually start researching and looking and learning about, as I said, learning about myself. And it's just, it's been really good with the help of people like yourself and Think Tank. Yeah,
no, it's a pretty interesting process going through the whole personal branding and understanding, because you know your core values, because you need to know what they are before you can go off and do what you need to do on social and other channels as well. So it is a great process. So speaking of that, then, do you have any, or did you have any ideas about what you wanted to do after basketball? Were you thinking getting into the training side of it, or public speaking, or you're not really sure yet? Or,
you know what, I'm not 100% sure. I know that I want to stay in sport. I know that, you know, anyone that knows me, sport is my life. I would love to get, I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know where I want to go, what I want to do. It's a hoot. I throw out all these ideas to my husband probably every single day. Oh, you know, when we retire, we're going to go to South America, and I'm going to manage a team, and you can coach a team, and we'll do this. Or no, don't want to do that now. I'm going to be the next vice president for the Women's National Basketball Association. Or I have these great ideas, you know, great ideas. So, but I'm not 100% sure where I want to go, but I know that, you know, I want to stay in sport. I really believe that women can be in all these different positions in sport, in high positions. We can go wherever we want, and I just think that that's what I want to do. I just see me, I don't know where, as I said, but I just see me still in, I would love to stay in wheelchair basketball, but who knows where I could go, what I can learn. So,
well, at least you've got the main part. You've got the main part sorted, that you want to do this, and now you just got to find out what the sort of more focused or you know, detailed part is. So you're halfway there.
That's it. As long as I just, you know, keep that, and my secondary job is my rehabilitating and rehoming of abandoned dogs. And that's always going to be part of me. So I'm a volunteer. My husband and I both rehabilitate and rehome abandoned foster dogs. So that's something that's, you know, that's one of my core values and one of my biggest beliefs, you know, and that's I think the greatest thing in my athlete career and living here in Spain is I have that outlet, and that's something else that brings me so much joy and I love doing, and it's not a job, it's me wanting to do it. So those two things will be with me forever, wherever I am in the world.
It's great to have passions and be able to identify what they are and work in them too. So it's just like that whole thing of, you know, if you're doing what you love, it's not a job, you know. So if you can just narrow it down, you'll be good to go. Now, we've mentioned your husband a few times throughout the conversation, so I'm just wondering what it's like, you know, to have a husband who's not only playing in the same sport as you, but also in the same team, as you mentioned earlier, because, you know, there can't be that many husbands and wives in the same elite sporting teams as each other anywhere in the world. Like, you could, I don't know, maybe you could count them on one hand. Like, do you know?
No.
Yeah, it can't be many.
No. You know, it obviously has, has its ups and downs, obviously, because it's great, you know, that I learned so much from him. He's had such a long career. He's played all around the world. As I say, you know, he represents his country, silver medalist. I respect him and the way the athlete that he is. So for me, I learned so much from him. The training's great. As I said, being in quarantine, having, you know, a pair that both have the same job, that's really good because we can bounce off each other. The motivation, we're always going to have that. Well, I'm going to motivate him, but we're always going to bounce off each other. And it's been beautiful. How many people can say we've played in the same team in Australia, where we, you know, got the silver medal with the RSL Spinning Bullets in Australia together. We've played in the same team in Italy together, in Padova in Italy together. We had a season, and now we're playing in Spain together. We've gone in 3 different countries, and I just think that's magical.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely magical. But then on the flip side, you know, it has its downs. Us being both elite athletes, we're always here, there. I'm always back in Australia, you know, obviously Australia being so far. If I'm back in Australia, I'm back in Australia for a good length of time, especially if it's a World Championships year or a Paralympics year. You know, I've got to go back, play with the National League, train with the girls. We've got to really prepare. So that's really, really hard, I guess, just going back and forth every year, having that time apart and knowing that we're both going through the same thing at the same time. He'll do his Paralympic training the same as I'll do my Paralympic training, but I'll be in Australia, he'll be in Spain. But I tell you what, I'm looking forward to next year, just going to Tokyo and fingers crossed being selected for the team, both of us, being able to enjoy that, because as you said, how many married couples can enjoy a Olympics or Paralympics together? For me, it's
pretty rare.
It's insane.
Yeah.
But then, you know, on the flip side, our whole lives is we train together, we live together, we play together. So look, it's easy on me.
Yeah.
If you ask him, might not be so easy.
Might get a different answer.
Apparently I give it to him a bit too hard at training, you know.
Right. You're a harsh critic.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, we're almost at the end. I just wanted to ask, you know, like if you were to give some advice to any up and coming athletes, you know, what would that advice look like?
Wow. Don't be scared. I guess fear, you know, fear is always going to be a big thing in everyone's life. Fear can hold you back and you can miss so many opportunities just from fear. And I've learned that through life. And I guess a big one would be give it a go. Just have no fear. You know what? And I guess fear can turn into fail. It's okay. You know, I'm an athlete that when I started, I thought I had to do everything right. I thought I had to be perfect. I thought I had to, in basketball, if I had to go get a pick, I had to get that pick. And if I missed that pick, that was it. It was over. I was off the team. I'm done. That's not it. You know, failing is what creates, you know, winning and greatness, and having no fear, believing in yourself, backing yourself. Anyone in this world can do absolutely anything. And there's so many people out there that can show you. So I think for me, it's here, just that self-belief. Don't worry about failure. It happens to everyone. I'm in 10th year of my career and I'm missing picks, I'm missing shots, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but out of failure is going to come greatness. So yeah.
Fantastic. Well, yeah, just a massive thank you for taking part in the show today, and again for getting up at the ungodly hour of 1:30 or whatever it was this morning when you got up. And yeah, I'm looking forward to cheering you on next year, and I hope you guys do some amazing things over there.
Yeah, I hope so. We're praying for gold like everyone else, but hey, as long as we do our best, right?
Yeah.
As long as we get there, we compete, we do our best, and we enjoy it. That's the
Yeah.
main thing about sport. Enjoy it.
For sure. Now, is there anything else I forgot to ask before? Is there anything else that maybe I've missed or whatever that you wanted to make mention of, or I think we've covered most
No.
things? Yeah.
I don't think so. Sorry, as you can tell, I just ramble.
Yeah, no, that's good. It's good. Say what you feel. That's exactly what we're after. So, all right. Well, yeah. Thanks again. It's been fantastic, Shelley, and yeah, looking forward to staying in touch.
Excellent. Thank you so much for having me.
No worries. All the best.
Thank you.